Hey Maggie, Gloria on YouTube. There's this disease called Q fever. You get it from being exposed to like livestock, you know, cows, sheep, goats and stuff. It's a pretty nasty disease, I think. The symptoms are... Q fever symptoms. Wikipedia. Symptoms are things like mild flu symptoms, fever, lots of sweating, headaches and nausea, diarrhea, you know, not very nice stuff. Because I go to a pretty animal heavy university, everyone on my campus has to get tested for an immunity to Q fever, and if we're not immune, vaccine. So I got my test last week, so that was a blood test and a skin test. Skin test was weird, right? So they stick the needle in, and they like inject some of the dead virus just into your arm, and then it puffs up as this bubble of liquid under the skin, and it's really weird. And yeah, anyway, that goes down in about 10 minutes. You go back a week later and they tell you, you know, results and stuff, and if you're not immune, you get the needle. I went to get my vaccine today, and he said, yeah, okay, your blood test is negative. He looked at my skin test and he was like, oh, well, I'm not really sure. You're a doctor, aren't you supposed to know? He sort of looked at the bumpy thing, he's like, well, you know, I'm not certain, but if you get the needle when you don't need it, you might get this big abscess, like the size of your fist, and this doesn't sound very nice, and so I have to go back in a couple of weeks and get the tests redone. That's another 25 bucks. Don't really want to spend that, but oh well. Guess I kind of have to, because I don't want all those crappy symptoms. Interesting fact about Q fever, it's found everywhere except New Zealand. They must all just be immune from the amount of sheep that are around. More men are affected by Q fever than women. That's all I have on Q fever. Look what came in the post to me today! Yay! It's looking for Alaska. So I got it yesterday, I have to go to uni and stuff, but I'm about a third of the way through. So far it's really good, I quite like it. It's entertaining, it's easy reading, and like within a few pages I already giggled out loud several times. Which is weird when you're just sitting in bed reading and it's just all of a sudden this little giggle. That's all from me today, guys. See you next week. Maggie, once your computer's fixed, I'd love to know the progress of your challenge. Hello.